Here is Donald Trump talking about vote by mail. This is, let's talk about this. This is number 6, where Donald Trump talks about all the different ways that people can cheat through mail-in ballots. Exactly. Now, in, is it Oregon? They have all mail-in ballot election. Here is Donald Trump, who has been studying this apparently for a long time, just like with medicine.
It was 15 minutes after I put out an endorsement that they said we have to move the election. They didn't want to move the election before that. The other thing they wanted to do, which is crazy, at the end of the election, they wanted to have 1 week for proxies to come in or mail ballots. Now, mail ballots, they cheat, okay? People cheat. Mail ballots are a very dangerous thing for this country because they're cheaters. They go and collect them. They're fraudulent in many cases. You got to vote. And they should have voter ID, by the way. You want to really do it right. You have voter ID.
All right. So Donald Trump is talking about in Wisconsin, he's saying that they wanted an extra week. In fact, when the Supreme Court overturned the ruling by a circuit court that they could have that extra week and would count the ballots that were sent in, because we have people online, and we can play that video in a minute. We have people online in Wisconsin who were saying, I sent in my ballot 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Or I sent in my ballot. I sent in a request 3 weeks ago for a, mid-March for an absentee ballot. I never got it. And right. So the idea was that all those ballots are sent out, 9,000, 10,000 of them at least. People didn't know there wasn't going to be an election 6 weeks out. They didn't know that, 4 weeks out that you were going to have a situation where that we're going to have a pandemic and we can't go vote. And when the Supreme Court said, no, you cannot count ballots that come in after yesterday, they did not reverse the holding by the circuit court that you could announce the election results next week. So in other words, we're not going to know who won Wisconsin because they were not under any type of mandate to count the ballots. That part was remained in the order by the lower court. And the Supreme Court just overturned the fact that you could count in ballots that come in later because of how late the ballots were sent out. That's what Donald Trump's talking about there. He's arguing that mail-in ballots, Donald Trump has just finished arguing that mail-in ballots are easily corruptible and we shouldn't allow them at all because they're corruptible. And then he's asked, hey, wait a second, how do you vote? By someone in the White House press room. This is clip number 6.
I think mail-in
voting. Really critical of mail-in voting, mail-in ballots for voting.
I think mail-in voting is horrible.
You voted by mail in Florida's election last month, didn't you?
Sure, I could vote by mail for that.
How do you reconcile
because I'm
that?
allowed to. Well, that's called out of state. You know why I voted? Because I happen to be in the White House and I won't be able to go to Florida to vote. But let me just say, there's a big difference between somebody that's out of state and does a ballot and everything's sealed, certified, and everything else. You see what you have to do with the certifications. And you get thousands and thousands of people sitting in somebody's living room signing ballots all over the place. No, I think that mail-in voting is a terrible thing. I think if you vote, you should go. And even the concept of early voting is not the greatest because a lot of things happen. But it's okay. But you should go and you should vote. I think you should go and you should vote. You look at what they do where they grab thousands of mail-in ballots and they dump it. I'll tell you what, and I don't have to tell you can look at the statistics. There's a lot of dishonesty going along with mail-in voting, mail-in ballots.
I think the biggest level of dishonesty we just saw where the president said that there was a lot of problems. I love the idea like, no, I can do it because I'm allowed to do it.
You can play back what I just said.
I want to make it clear that I stand with Donald Trump that, and this may be the first time I ever agree with him, you should only do mail-in ballots if you are allowed to do it. Period. And so otherwise, I don't think if you're not allowed to have a mail-in ballot, then I don't think that they should count. But I think the argument is we should allow people to have mail-in ballots because it works for him, but I'm out of state And the mail knows that because this is going to be the central argument that we're going to hear. He is fully aware that if it's a mail-in ballot situation, he could lose. And they're going to desperately try and stop this. We know that as generally speaking, as rates of ballots go up, Republicans lose. That has been the sort of the general understanding that people has. And he's very nervous about this happening. And he is basically getting ready for the Democrats to demand this. They better demand it, because it would be another example of Democrats not ensuring that they get power, that they use their leverage to increase their power down the road.
I heard that Nancy Pelosi is considering delaying the election and giving Trump another 5 years in exchange for a extension of a housing credit tax.
Exactly. That's very possible.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I just want to emphasize, like, I think we just legitimately don't know, obviously, who will win the general election. But like the extent to which it is seriously in question is a profound indictment because every marker should be Trump is out, period. And look,
anybody think
let me reiterate.
Any other
of course
candidate we
lose.
would have that conversation with?
Right.
I know what you're saying. The idea that it's even controversial as to a question as to whether he could lose in this environment is a function of this.